Dear all, welcome to Civil Services with ZAKI. Today we are going to discuss about the how do continents form and grow. So before going to this series, basically the major geographical concept series, we want to announce something new because as you know your preliminary exams on 5th June, so you are basically preparing for this exam, and this concept is related to PT as well as mains. So for your PT examination, we provide you a mega 50 revision series. Basically, these type of current affairs, basically you can revise in within 1 and 2 days. So this is very significant. Basically, this is very significant current affairs topics on my blog, and basically it is related to the ecology, environment, science, tech, and geography. So you can go our blog and you follow also my blog, and if you want to more previous year questions or previous years current affairs, so it presents 2001, 2008, 2020, 2021 all current affairs including from 2017. So this blog is very useful. So please subscribe our channel also and follow my blog. So now we move forwards, and our topic is how do continents form and grow. So see here, first, continents are among the largest feature of our planet. So what are they? How did they form? And does a continent remain the same size over a long period? So, through the geological time, continents overall have tend to grow larger as they collide with and incorporate the island arcs, oceanic plateaus, sea mounts, and other tectonic features. So, finally, these continents grow to a larger, and finally became a supercontinent. And after these continents become a supercontinent, then they fragmented into the small continent. As you know, as Wegener proposed the theory of the continental drift theory, and finally Pangea. So these are the cycle when continent collides, join together, collide together, and finally they apart together. So if you want to know more about these features and topic, then you also join my class in Mukherjee Nagar, and also subscribe my channel for some topic. And if you want any topic related to the geographical concept or geographical feature, you can write in the comment box. We will make a video on that topic. So let's move forward and see what is a continent. So what is a continent? So when people thinks about the continent, most envision its shape as seen by present day coastline. So if you see the present day map and see the coastline, it means you assume these coastline include a continent. So these outline, however, changes as the sea level rise. When sea level rise, some area submerged. Same when sea level low, some area can emerge. So it has been many times in the distant past. If you see our Earth past history, so we should therefore consider slightly different definition of a continent, one that indicate less transit outline. So if we see in geology, so the continent is defined as one of the Earth's major landmass, including both dry land where we live, where the civilization lies, and other continental shelf. So continental shelf are also included in the continent. So what is continental shelf? What is continental slope? So we define all that in our forthcoming video. Basically, it is geomorphology and another is oceanography. And you can also join my class in Mukherjee Nagar. So we move forward and see, here is the Australia. So Australia is the smallest continent, but it is very significant. So as you find some of the oldest landmass in Australia, and also you see this feature. So see here, the continent of Australia nicely illustrated in this issue involved with the definition of the age. So if we see here, definition of this, the familiar outline in the coast continent is the shoreline. So if you see the seashore, or where sea meet with the continent or with the landmass shoreline, the boundary between the brown and green. So see here, brown and green are the landmass, and blue is depicted as it means blue is ocean. So blue of the adjacent ocean on this map. So if you notice here, see here, this is the coastline. So if you move beyond the coastline, so see here, notice however, so notice here, surrounding land of the area is relatively shallow and represented in this figure is light blue. So if you see the light blue figure, these light blue figures are the continental shelf. So this blue shelf surrounding continent is similar to the rest of the continent. So it is also like the same rest of the continent. So except there's barely underwater. So some water already these features are underwater, but it is very shallow. So many geoscientists consider this shallow continental shelf to be a part of the Australian continent. So see this type of the shelf. So these shallow continental parts are also included in the continent. So continents means not the only coastline as you see in the globe or map, because these coastline changes time to time as many geologists or scientists see in the past, distance past. So we move forward and see the surface of the earth. So if we graph a cumulative representative of the earth's surface, so if you see this graph represents the earth elevation from the Mount Everest to the Mariana Trench. So see here, one way to represent continent and the rest of the earth land mass and the sea floor is a graph that plot elevation versus the percentage of the land or sea. So the above elevation, see here elevation or the depth, this graph, what is this graph? This graph is called Hypsometric Curve. So it is known as Hypsometric Curve. So that some what less than 30% of the earth, if you see the 30% of the earth is a continent as this time, with the most of the rest being deep ocean. So the major changes between the continent and the deep oceans occur not on the shoreline. So if you see the major changes from there, so it is not, see here, major changes. See here in the landmass, but major changes happen from here, not here, from the continental slope. So major changes happens from the continental slope and finally go to the deep and ocean trenches. So the major changes between the continents, so ocean not occur at the shorelines. So but across the continental slope, this graph illustrated that the continental shelf more akin to the continent. So it is also a part of the continent as you see here. So this graph. So now we move forward and see how continents form and grow. The basic topic of this today's major geographical concept series. So how do continent form and grow? So see this picture, this picture, this graphics is very significant to understand how continent grow. So see here, examine this figure showing various tectonic features within the next to the central plate being consumed by the subduction from the both sides. So this side is called subduction zone, this side is also subduction zone. The plate subduct in the both side, and you see some of the geographical features such type of the volcanic arch, subtype of the continental fragments, and such type of the oceanic plateau, and also some linear island also. So see some type of the plate tectonic theory on ends of the both sides. So if the plate motion continues, subduct, then some of these features will collide from the continent. Some of these features will be collide on the continent, right? When it occur, they may be added in front edge of the continent. It means collide. So these type of the features like volcanic arc, collide with the continent and form the edge of the continent. So it is in front of the edge of the continent. So this piece of exotic crust added to the continental crust called tectonic terrain. So what is this? This is called tectonic terrain. So these tectonic terrain are the very significant for the growth of a continent. So we move forward and see step by step how continent grow. So see here, this is volcanic arc. So many terrains consist of volcanic and volcanic arc related rock formed as an island arc. So see here, this is island arc. So this is island arc. Further, some of the continental fragments, see here, some of the terrain have more continental characteristic, specifically three granitic crust with continental sedimentary rocks. Such terrain generally represent the pieces of that were sliced or rifted off from the another continent. So as you know, continent joint and rift together. So this is the fragment of the continent, and this is also once we are the part of the continent. So see here, this is. So this is a part of the, this was a part of the continent, fragmented continent. So another feature if we see is some terrain represent oceanic island, oceanic plateau, and other type of the oceanic crust. So island and plateau have thicker than the normal oceanic crust. So here see here, this is oceanic plateau and this is oceanic crust. So this is more thicker than the oceanic crust. It means these type of crust not subduct. So island and plateau have thicker than the normal oceanic crust, so they are less likely to be subduct and more likely to be added in the continent. So it means these plateau, these island are added to the continent. So finally, if we see in the next stage or fourth stage, see here, such type of the, so for a terrain to become attached a continent, it typically enter to the subduction zone. So finally, before attaching to the continent, they go to the subduction zone. See here, this is round, yellow round area is, these are the fragment of the some tectonic feature going to the subduction zone and finally added in the edge of the continent. So see here, it typically entered into the subduction zone where it scraped off the subducting plate and tectonically added to the continent, and finally continent grew. So further these continents are grow and grow, and someday as subduction is more prevalent in the as you know, the Mariana Trench, near the Mariana Trench and the Pacific Plate, Australia will collide with the United States and some of the parts. So in distant future, maybe some supercontinent form in the future. So that's all about the continents, how continent grow, what is a continent, and what is the concept of the continent. So continent is not the shoreline, but it is continental shelf and continent shorelines both. And also how continent grow. Basically these continent grow, form a supercontinent, and finally split apart. So these are the basic features cycle. So it is also related to the geomorphology. So please share this video and subscribe my channel, as you know, it is very my channel grow very slowly. So it's your responsibility because it is your channel. So, and don't forget to go to my blog, because my blog is very significant for your examination purpose, and definitely approx 10 questions will be asked by our blog. So go to our blog also. So finally, see here, thanks for watching this video. Thanks a lot. We will meet in the next week, next topic, next geographical concept. If you want to know more about the another geographical concept, you can write in the comment box. We will make video on that. So thanks for watching this video. Thanks a lot.